Bartomeu and Deco are the worst people in Barcelona history. Well, this is not me saying that. This is actually the Barcelona fans. They are not happy with the comments and the statements that Deco has been giving in recent days. He recently had an interview with Rack One, and he has been going around in places and talking about Barcelona's plans for this summer. This was actually his first big interview where he actually said everything by himself. What we have been hearing before that is actually rumors from the news outlets, and those actually initially started the big hate towards Deco. All of the hate from there, and especially from the interview that he talked about, is really making Barcelona fans concerned upon what is really happening with Barcelona this summer. We have to be competent. But where it seems that with Deco's comments, Barcelona fans are not are not really feeling that Barcelona are going to be competent in this transfer window. So it made me think that, okay, Deco is getting too much hate, but is all of these talks, conversations that the Barcelona fans are bringing on, is it really justifiable? Is the hate really justified for Deco? We're going to be discussing critically upon that in this video, from the pros and the cons of the statements, the comments that Deco has been giving in, the rumors that Deco is around. We're going to be talking all of that. So this video will give the true picture upon Deco's hate, and does he actually deserve this? Let's analyze all of the situation, because this is going to be very interesting. Stay from the start till the end to understand everything related to Deco and the hate. So why is Deco really getting this much hate in the first place? So this all started from a recent rumor that is going around Barcelona, and it's regarding a signing that is circulating around Barcelona. Of course, the transfer window is about to open, and the news outlets are already on to their jobs. They are already going around and searching as to what really Barcelona are looking forward in this transfer window. What signings are they going to go for? And one big name has been regarded as the number one transfer target for this summer for Barcelona, and it is Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz is apparently the biggest transfer target for Barcelona this summer, and apparently even Hansi Flick has given his green light for this transfer. Now, the reason why Barcelona fans are not happy with this is two things. Number one, the season that Luis Diaz had with Liverpool this season hasn't been the greatest. His best season probably has been last season with Liverpool. But this season, Luis Diaz has kind of dropped down. And especially when you compare him and Rafinha, because of course Rafinha is our left winger currently. So you have to check both of them out. So Rafinha obviously has more GA than Luis Diaz. But in terms of Luis Diaz, he actually doesn't have that many GAs this season. Rafinha actually has more GA than Luis Diaz. So Luis Diaz actually this season only has 18 goals and assists with Liverpool. He definitely dropped down from his last season. So a lot of people are actually not happy with that being the first point. Secondly, the price tag that is being spoken about Luis Diaz. The price tag apparently is going to be 65 to 85 million euros for Luis Diaz. Well, what most of the outlets spoke about is 80 million euros being the price tag for Luis Diaz, and a lot of people are not happy with that. They consider that this price tag is too much for a player like Luis Diaz who did not perform this season. Now, why is Deco actually really interested in this signing? Why is he so behind it? Firstly, I checked upon it and I saw what Luis Diaz offers. And the thing about Luis Diaz is that he's actually a right-footed player. Now, why is that important to understand? Because right now, our front two is Rafinha on the left and Lamine on the right. And both of them are left-footed players. So this actually limits Barcelona's options in attack. Why? Because we know Lamine. What does Lamine do on the right? Dribbles or pass, right? He does that. He can control the right-hand side by himself by dribbling, or he can give an amazing Trivela pass or the Yamal cross, like we all know, into the box. But that is Lamine though. What happens with Rafinha? Rafinha on the left-hand side, his role actually is limited. He cannot dribble. He's not a great dribbler. He is someone who can give really good passes or who can shoot well. That is the attributes, the strengths of Rafinha. Of course, his work ethic is also there, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about him in the attacking phases. So the problem here is that if Rafinha cannot dribble, so most of the clubs know that Rafinha will then either come centrally to shoot, or he will either try to give cutbacks or maybe switch off plays. And that makes it easy for the players and the clubs to understand Rafinha's attacking strategy from the left-hand side, which is why then we mostly depend upon Balde to give the cutbacks, the crosses inside the box. It's not usually Rafinha who's involved in those. It's actually Balde because, Balde can dribble, sorta. You know, he dribbles away and then he gives a cross. But Rafinha cannot dribble. So Luis Diaz, right, what he actually is good in is that he cuts in with his right foot. Him being a right-footed player, and also you can see him multiple instances where he has used his left foot as well, but mostly he has been strong with his right foot. So when he dribbles from the left-hand side, he cuts in and then either goes for a pass or a shot towards the goal. So the idea is that this will actually make Barcelona a bit more difficult to understand in terms of attacking wise, because you will never know whether Luis Diaz will actually dribble or will he actually go for a switch off play to Lamine. That's the thing about Luis Diaz. That is something which you won't get from Rafinha because he's not a dribbler. He can only use his left foot, and he's limited with his left foot on the left hand side. But Luis Diaz, being a right-footed player, he can cut in, he can dribble, he can go ahead and distribute the ball away, and so on and so forth, give more options to Barcelona in the attack. This is one of the big reasons why Barcelona are closely linked towards Luis Diaz. Now, I think the price tag, of course, is a lot high, and this is why Liverpool is understanding that you know what, Barcelona are really interested in Luis Diaz, so we are going to be hiking the prices up. So I think, in my opinion, when it comes to the Luis Diaz thing, I would say probably the transfer amount is a lot, and I think for the performance that he delivered for Liverpool this season, we have to also consider that. By the way, we just spoke about Luis Diaz game in general, but that is him being on the best. This season he hasn't been really the best for Liverpool, so I think the price tag is a lot, and honestly, Luis Diaz should be considered for Barcelona only if he is ready to probably come in a lower transfer fee. That's my opinion upon this Luis Diaz stuff. So Luis Diaz being rumored as the number one transfer target, that Barcelona are ready to do everything for Luis Diaz to come to Barcelona, has given the rise to the hate for Deco. Now, another reason why people are hating Deco even more is of his interview with Rack One. So some of the points that he mentioned, he spoke about a lot of things. He spoke about renewals, he spoke about transfers, he spoke about Flick, the team, and everything, right, in general. So some of the points that Barcelona fans have considered is that Deco mentioned in this interview that Barcelona will not sign a fullback or a midfielder or a centre back this summer, which is making a lot of fans again very anxious as to why is that happening. Why are Barcelona not signing any left back? We literally saw what happened in the Champions League semi-finals. We lost the best fullbacks and we struggled deeply. So why is Barcelona not signing? Why is Deco saying this in public? Well, the thing is, they already have found their answers. So when it comes to the fullback positions, right, that is actually one of the big positions that Barcelona are going to target this summer. Actually, La Masia came clutch again. There is a player coming in rumors recently. His name is Jofre Torrens. He is actually a very good left back, and he apparently plays for Barca Athletic, if I'm not wrong. So he is a very, very good left back. I have seen him play, and his attributes seem very good for a Barcelona left back. So if you see Balde, right, Balde, what he does, he can drive the ball for you, he can give crosses or cutbacks, right? Jofre Torrens does the same, except he defends really well, and also he has a very good attribute, that is to switch plays. that is a very big attribute for Barcelona left back, because the thing about Balde is that he's kind of predictable in his attacks. What he does is when he's in the overlapping phases, he drives the ball to the left hand side and gives a cross, and it's easy for the opposition to defend it. But because Torrens is actually really good in understanding the game, in passing really well from deep areas to switch plays, this makes it difficult for clubs to, the opposition clubs, to counter Joffre, because, well, if the opposition clubs are gonna be pressuring, right? They love to pressure Barcelona, and if they're gonna pressure Torrens can maybe do a big switch off play to the right hand side, from where Barcelona can create a very dangerous attack. So this is why Joffre Torrens is apparently being marked as the next big star, like Pau Cubarsí and Lamine Yamal from La Masia. And that's why Barcelona are not looking to sign any fullbacks this summer. They are locked in. When you talk about the right back, we already know we got Koundé and Eric Garcia. The main complaint was the left back. Balde and Gerard Martin hasn't been too good. We can definitely do someone better than him, and looks like Joffre Torrens is just gonna be that, which is why fullbacks is out of the equation. And midfielders, of course, is also not really discussed that much in detail, is because we also have options covered in that. And in fact, I'm going to be covering all of these things much more in detail in my upcoming video. I'm going to be talking more about the transfer plan for Barcelona this summer. We're going to be discussing our rumors, everything in the next video. So for this video, we're going to be talking about Deco though. So let's keep it Deco specific. So this is the reason why he's not looking for a fullback signing. Now, another thing that people do not like about Deco is that he said Ter Stegen is gonna stay at Barcelona, and that is something which a lot of people are not happy about, because Ter Stegen has been a very big problem for Barcelona. Why is he staying? Why is he being even near to this club? You are seeing clubs like Man City, Bayern Munich, and Madrid offloading their legends like De Bruyne, Müller, Modric, etc. So why is Barcelona not doing the same for Ter Stegen? Honestly, I'm with you guys on that, because I do not want this guy anywhere close to my club. Please ship him out. Please get him out. And I don't know as to whether it's because of the fact that he's our captain that he's getting this much respect, but honestly, he should not get this respect. We need to actually sign someone competent for the goalkeeper position, and that is actually a valid point as to why people are afraid of having Ter Stegen in the club. We have seen enough of him, and I don't think so any more convincement or anything is needed for Ter Stegen to stay. He should not stay in this club no matter what. So I'm with you guys on this point that, you know what, this is a valid reason as to why Deco is getting hate. Now, another reason as well why Deco is getting a lot of hate is because of the fact that he is keeping a lot more interest in Luis Diaz and not on Nico Williams. And another name that he also brought on was Marcus Rashford. So in his interview, he mentioned Luis Diaz and Rashford being the interests for Barcelona this summer. But he didn't say they're going to sign them. He just said their interests. Barcelona are looking for them. So again, we already spoke about Luis Diaz in general though, as to why Luis Diaz is probably not the best signing for Barcelona. We already discussed about it. But also the fact that he spoke about Dani Olmo signing, and he said that Dani Olmo was ready to sign for Barcelona. He was there ready and everything, which is why Barcelona went ahead and signed him up. So a lot of people are mentioning that Olmo has not been great. But to be honest, guys, we have to also see that Olmo, when he came on the start of the season, he has been such an amazing player. His smooth movements, his reactions, everything has been so crucial for Barcelona. We have seen that from the start of the season, right? So Olmo has been great from the start of the season. The problem actually came with him is the hamstring injury that he got, which is why he has dropped down, and well, we aren't seeing the best level of Olmo currently. So Barcelona are making things really clear to everyone, to the coolers and everyone, that Barcelona are not going for any signings, not going for that, not going for this and everything. So people are getting really anxious for this summer. for Barcelona. But there's one more thing that I would like to mention towards the end of this video. One more important thing. I think Barcelona are trying not to inflate prices. Luis Diaz has already got his price risen. When Barcelona initially showed their interest for Luis Diaz, he was rumored to be around 65 million euros. But now Liverpool made it clear that Luis Diaz will go for 85 million euros minimum. So his price inflated. And what we saw from Matteo Alemany, the former Barcelona sporting director, one of the things that why he was so amazing as a Barca sporting director was because of the fact that he was smart with his business. He was smart with his decisions. He did not speak about players too much in public to inflate their prices. He did everything in background, whether it was Joel Skunde, Lewandowski, all these signings, Rafinha as well. There were very pessimistic signs happening in Barcelona's transfer windows regarding these signings. But at the end of the day, it happened. Why? Because to not inflate the prices. Alemany didn't speak about them to not inflate their prices. This is the same thing we are seeing from Deco, which is why he name dropped Luis Diaz and Rashford, but he said that we are only liking them. We are not too interested in them, to not inflate their prices. So this is why a lot of names are not being name dropped by Barcelona right now. The window has not opened yet, guys. We have to understand that. So that's why Barcelona are trying not to inflate the prices. Diaz's price has already been inflated, but they don't want that to happen with any more transfers. Hence why Barcelona did not even mention about any striker. Another point which Barcelona fans did not like about Deco is that he says that Barcelona are not going for any number 9. We already saw from Ferran Torres, from Olmo, what they have done. And you know what? That's the only options. This is said by Deco. And the reason is Gyökeres is a very big rumor option for Barcelona, right? And the reason why he's not being name dropped is only and only because for his price to not get inflated. Deco has made one thing really clear though, guys, that he is looking for contract renewals at the moment, because those are the main important things of renewals of Gavi, Lamine, Rafinha. In fact, at the moment that I'm making this video, Rafinha and Lamine have already been renewed for their contracts. They're already done with their contracts and everything, so they're done with that case, right? So Barcelona are making sure that registration purposes are not going to be a problem soon for Barcelona, because wage bill is a problem, right? So Barcelona are making sure that registration is not going to be a problem of these players. So what he's trying to do is he's actually trying to renew the contracts of our current players, so that when we go into the transfer market, when we go into the window for the signings, we will know what wages to give to our signings. So the problem of the wage registration, that should not repeat. That doesn't repeat, and it should not repeat, which is why Barcelona are actually going for the renewals first, and then they will see what they can go with their wage budget. At the end of this video, all I've got to say is that Barcelona are playing smart right now. I think all of you guys should understand the market is not open yet. It is still closed. So hold on, guys. Keep some patience. Let the market open and let's see what then Barcelona does. They don't want to inflate prices. They don't want to get themselves in the wage budget problem, which is why they're keeping themselves in lower direction. You know, they're not talking too much about players or their ideas, because they are playing it smart. They're getting through the renewals. They're trying to see what wage budget do they have to work with, and then in summer transfer window as we go in, that's where we will see the big moves. So keep your patience, guys. The transfer window is not open yet. Let it open and then we will discuss. And with that, I'm done with the video, guys. This is my whole critical analysis upon Deco. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully this video gave you a clear picture, the true picture of Deco and the hate. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Forza Barca.